Hey, what's up guys? Astronax here for a Tap Wizard RPG Arcane Quest video. So here's my progress. I'm now in zone 40. Uh, I mean, they're doing so much damage now. It's crazy. I just keep on dying there. But it's fine. As long as you get power growth, I'm getting like 4 or 5%. Uh, yeah, every run. So I have 4 dungeon keys. I did not show you guys any dungeon video yet. Let me just show here. So there's multiple levels. You can re-roll the effects, like you can see on the level 1. It's like your cold skills will do more damage, or maybe they do less. Then something like uh, some of your spells will have longer cooldown. And I mean, we can go over the explanation in the wait, let's see here. Places, dungeon. Welcome to the dungeon gate. Dungeons are very challenging expeditions which will test your skill and knowledge. The dungeon have 3 levels, each with different enemies, runes, and aspects. Aspects provide buff to specific schools, status effects, or loadout slots. A few aspects give debuffs as well as buffs. Tap an aspect from the dungeon gate to view more details about it. The chest at the end of each dungeon contains some number of charms. Complete the dungeon to learn more about charms. The number of charms in the dungeon chest depends on the dungeon grade. Increase the dungeon grade by infusing the dungeon key with runite. If you infuse it, gets harder. Each time you increase the dungeon grade, the number of charms rewarded goes up by 1. Beware, increasing the dungeon grade also add aspects to the levels. Each infusion costs 5 runite. The maximum dungeon grade is 4 and the maximum aspects per level is 5. Dungeon grade is 4. Okay. Once you enter a dungeon, you must either complete the dungeon or abandon it, forfeiting the dungeon key and any runite spent on it. You can also abandon a grade 4 dungeon before entering it, which resets the grade to 1 but does not consume the dungeon key. If you don't like the look of a dungeon, you can choose to reroll the dungeon by spending a small amount of runite. So you have to reroll before entering, or you can screwed. Rerolling a dungeon randomize all enemies, runes, and aspects. You can only reroll dungeon once per dungeon grade, except at grade 4 where you can reroll 4 times. One final important note, your loadout will automatically change while in a dungeon. Yes, that's very important. You need to set up all your loadouts beforehand. I have a research buff for 10 hours. I have like a bunch of gold that I need to spend. I now set my TM lag to 10. It used to be 25, which was like insane. Now this doesn't cost much, so I can just instantly do it. You see I have this is like cheap compared to how much I have, but funding costs a lot. That's why I have my research boost running. These 2 researches are like, they're still cheap for me, but you see the first research up here, I mean, there's like 3 days left on it. It's kind of crazy, but it's fine. I think it needs to be done once, or there's more level later, but I mean, when you get it done, you don't see it for a while. So let's go over my spells that I'm using right now. I'm using Inferno. Ignites a wall of flames in front of the wizard for 4 seconds and deals constant damage to enemies within melee range. Damage bypasses enemy armor. Okay, so you can have more than one Inferno up at the same time. You can see like the graphical interface. Which one was that? You can see the graphical and like the graphic of the Inferno. You can see when there's more than one up. Like wait, I can have 2 with my cast speed. I can have 2 up at the same time. But you see it like when it's bigger, larger, that means you have more than one. And sometimes you can see the graphic like overlap. Like now there's 2 up. Anyways, I need to do this. I need to get the runite. So I almost have 500 runite to buy the assistant that will pick up runes for me, stable runes. He can pick up to 5 stable runes. So like I play actively. I'll show you guys my active versus idle stats. Like yesterday I could not I played some. Yeah, I played actually a couple hours, but 2 days ago like I played like maybe an hour. So like there was no progress. And yeah, I mean the progress has been great. The dungeon, I got the first dungeon key when I unlocked it, and I basically just did it. I completed it. It was all good. I did not make it harder, like infuse it and all that. It's too early. Now I'm just saving my keys. Probably just make a video and just do them back to back. I'm not sure if it's even good to do them back to back. Like, because at the end you get the chest and you get the buff. So I'm not sure how many you can have. Oh, finally, a box. Most of the time I get these boxes. They're like behind my current progress. I guess I could pop like an immortality potion and maybe get to it, but the monsters like here, they don't survive that much, but their damage is insane. Okay, 40.3 now. I was at 40.2 for a while, but that's what the beauty of this game is. Just you keep on progressing, even though you like die quickly. It's fine. So here, yes, here the temple floor. I unlocked this at like zone. What zone did I unlock this? Like 27. So you want to have this running all the time. The first time you press this for 12 hours, it's 100, but the second time is 200. That's if you go away for like, you won't be playing the game for more than 12 hours. Just pay for it. Like as you can see at the top right, I have 8,647. This caps at 20,000. There's a bunch of buffs. It lasts 15 minutes. Their price goes up. Like the more you have, the more you buy, the more expensive everything gets. So I'm not planning to use those. You can save them for dungeon or for this here, the dark portal. This place is crazy. I did not attempt it in since yesterday. Yesterday I couldn't do any damage to them. It's just really hard. I wonder at which point I'm actually gonna do anything. So yeah, oh yeah, let's do my spell stone first, because I did my critical raid. Let's just do it. Oh. Yes, when you get a second skill, like a duplicate, you can use 2, or if you have triple, you can use 3 of the same one. Yeah, I mean, I was using that spell before, but I stopped using it. It was not performing too well. I mean, it was performing great, and then I'll go over the skills. The thing is, I did not have Inferno. I unlocked it yesterday, and I'm really liking the skill. Like it bypasses enemy armor. Armor is basically flat damage reduction to how much damage you're dealing to them. So let's say in the tutorial it explains to you how much it reduces, but let's say they have 100 armor and you do 150 damage. Well, they will only take 50 damage. So basically, if you have too much cast speed, that's when it causes a problem. If you don't have skill that bypass armor, so that's one of the reasons why I've been I changed this in the options. You see TM lag ER, the last one. TM lags ER. Look, this option lets you set how much tempered magic TM lags expedient recitation ER. This option does not change the research levels of these projects. All it does is set when TM will appear in the academy. For example, suppose you have TM and ER at level 10 and you choose a lag of 5. In this case, TM will not appear in the academy until ER is at least level 16. So this used to be 25 for me, and because I wanted super fast cast speed. But I mean, when monsters have armor and you don't have you don't have ignore armor, it's causing some problems. Like you will not deal any damage or very little damage to them. The thing is, they always take 5% of the initial damage, even if they have as much armor as your damage. So you can still scratch them, let's say, but I mean, it's not efficient. So you can have as much cast speed as you want. I'm not exactly sure how many walls of Inferno you can have. It looks like I was able to have 3 before when I have faster cast speed, but I mean, with this cooldown, I know I have 2 up, you know, permanently basically. Now, this here, Frost Ray, is just like it shoots and then it bounces, and it's a guarantee freeze. And you can see here the max bounce is +4. I'm not sure exactly the initial bounce. It could be 0, so you have 4 bounce total. But what it does is basically control some of the monsters. It freezes them, so it makes them slower. They attack slower, they cast slower. But the synergy here is, because this is one of the best freeze that I can get, it's like a guarantee freeze. With Inferno, you see the third rank. It says frozen enemies are thawed and engulfed in toxic gas, which deals damage equal to 3 seconds of burn. So now when I got this, I decided to lower my TM lag so I can have more spell damage to increase the damage of that 3-second burn, because burn is like burn and what is called electrify. It is based on your spell damage. Your cast rate will not affect. Well, lightning, yes, because you will proc the lightning more often, but the burn is damage over time. So having faster cast speed does nothing to the burn damage. So what? Let's see here. You see the green cloud that are popping up? This is it. That's the toxic gas. You see it pops quite often. So like I'm really liking how it's doing. So I'm already doing 40.4. But yeah, it's always getting stronger. Oh yes, my enchanting. Look, my enchanting is 34. It's I mean, for a while I was doing +1s, because like you look at how long it will take for you to get to an enchant +2, and you're like doing some math, and it's just like, okay, so if I stay active and I do an enchant 1, I can complete it. Let's say it takes 13-14 hours. You can bring it down to, let's say it takes like, it takes 2 hours. But then in maybe in 3 hours you can get enchant +2, you know. So sometimes it's just better to just wait. Depends. If you have to go, you cannot play for, let's say, a full day. Just hit that enchant. But if you can do that push for enchant +2, you just do it. An enchant +3 now, that's getting crazy. But if you leave your game running overnight, I don't know, you wake up to go to the bathroom and stuff like that, you just press it, and you can end up in the morning with the enchant +3, and then you actively play. You can actively play and bring that thing down to like quickly to 3 hours, 4 hours, well, where I'm at right now. And say you go to work, then you have your lunch break, then you know, you can just it works out good. So yeah, that's for that. So you can see the enchanting, the spell damage like almost times 500. I mean, these buffs are just crazy. It really helps because like researches in the academy are extremely powerful. So so you really need to work on your enchant. You can't just like wait until enchant +5, 10, something crazy like that. It just helps so much for the research, and your power growth and everything. Oh, I did not see the price on that thing. So what could I go over? 40.5 now. Yes, my skills. Okay, I was talking about Inferno. Now this freezes to have the toxic gas going off here. Lightning Elemental has just been doing good damage. It's just been doing good damage. It was doing good damage before I even unlocked the rank 5 and the rank 3. It's just initially it just did good damage. And initially I thought you could only have 2, but if you look carefully, you see on the left side there's 2. Now we can easily see it. There's 2 on the left side and 1 on the right side. So with my current setup, it's like 7 seconds. I can have 3 up basically permanently. 2 on the right now. Sometimes you can see with their attack, one's attacking, the other one his arm are down. They're just like, you see the damage, 31, 32%. That's rank 5. But let's say you just start using them, they will do like a good 20% damage, and they kind of target the same monster. It seems to work out pretty good. Now, like, Shocknet is just insane all the time. And rank 5, you can see after 1 second a secondary net is cast, which deals no damage but shocks all enemy for 1 second. So the reason why I went with TM lag 10 is because I wanted to have a cooldown of 2 seconds here. Because initially it shocks for 1 second, and then basically the first rank, it says that all shock status effects are triggered before the net is cast. So it will trigger all the shock, and then it will reapply the shock because initially it says snare all targetable enemies in electrical web, dealing damage and shocking them for 1 second. So they're shocked 1 second. And then after that 1 second, it shocks again. So basically there's always a shock up. And when the monsters are shocked, wait, what? Combat status and effect. Well, okay, burn is burn their damage every 0.3 second. Damage bypass armor. So burn's amazing. And it scales with the spell damage bonus, not the casting speed. The ice status effect is freeze. Enemies are frozen, attack and cast spell 20% slower and receive 20% like 1.2 multiplier damage from all source. So like freeze is nice for damage increase and survival. And overlapping freeze just extends the duration. And also the damage multiplier is applied after damage mitigated by armor, so that's really good. Okay, the lightning effect status is shock. When there's shock, 16% chance to be struck by lightning each second. The lightning strikes damage scale with casting spell damage. Okay, so it's each second, so 16%. Yeah, if they're shocked, like the enemies, they have 16% chance. Oh, what is this? Activate a crumbling key to immediately enter a ruined dungeon. Ruined dungeons are just like normal dungeons, except that they are random. You do not have a chance to infuse or reroll, and they cannot be ultimate difficulty. Crumbling keys have a 1 out of 8 chance to drop from any wall, chest, or dungeon chest. However, you can only hold 1 crumbling key at a time. Good luck. Alright guys, so we'll have to do this. Okay, let me just finish with what's going on here. Okay, so there is always a shock effect going all over the current screen. The game goes so fast that you cannot have all the mobs permanently shocked. You would need a super fast shock net, but because of armor, I decided to have it set up with TM lag 10 to actually do decent damage. So I see Prism that bypasses armor with Inferno, and this I've been using since I first got it on like the first day I played. And I mean, it's just great. You can just look, it's just damage increase. Also, there's a part that says 10% of the damage the target takes while light beam focus is added to the shatter damage. So all the damage you're doing from all your other spells, 10% of it will be added to the shatter damage. Also does damage to other enemies. The passive, I mean, ice and lightning. The research is nice. Frozen orb I don't use. And if you check this one, this is chain lightning. I don't use it, but there's the research, all damage, and ice cast speed. It's nice. Now this one is crazy. No, it's not crazy, but I mean it's 10% spell XP. I need to level it again. When you reach Mark 2, you keep the first rank automatically. So Mark 2, you keep the shots can retarget mobs in the same squad as the primary target and 25% damage increase. You keep that and you can relearn all the passive and the effect. You keep all the passives from the previous marks and you earn new passives again, so you can get that 10% spell XP multiple times on each mark. And the augmentation on Mark 2, you keep the first one. On Mark 3, you keep the first two. And then Mark 4, you keep the first three, you know? So at Mark 6, you have all of them already learned, and you're just earning new passives again and again to, and they all stack together. So it's really nice. Here, Frost Ray, I mean, bounces, ice, fire, power jump is real nice. I use ice, I use fire, it's all good. This firestorm, lightning, all damage, gold. I mean, it's not bad. Gold is really good. What was it that we wanted to show? Is it this? Now this is really nice to level. The icy prism, cast speed and damage, and ice and gold. But Blizzard, get that 10% spell XP. I want to level that after I finish working on this and this. Blizzard does just not freeze enough. I did some testing and it seemed to be like the poison, toxic gas seems to be going off as often with Icicle and with Blizzard, but just like Frost Ray seems to do more damage, and when I unlock the 5th rank it's gonna do even more. I mean, this is just a 4th barrage on the 5th rank and it's already doing 3. It's just it will just do like, I don't know, like 275, like 25% more damage, let's say, but it's already doing terrible damage. Also, Frost Ray, look at the damage now. Like early on in the run, it just takes all the kills. If Inferno takes kills, it's because like my character actually reached the monsters before they actually die. But like it's cleaning up real nice. It's not slowing you down. But then of course it slows down. The damage drops drastically. But it still stays pretty decent. But its purpose is to freeze, and it's to help Inferno. And it's to just put that freeze debuff and just stack it and make all the other spells do 20% more damage. As you can see, like, you see the lightning elemental, they're still shooting, but they do like a good 30% easy. Yeah, I mean, I've been dragging this on for a while. I want to go over like all the spells in another video. I can go over the ones I currently have unlocked just quickly. You can just read them, pause the video. So it would be a good time to that's where you pause the video and just take a look. I'm just gonna show initially the ones that are high level. Voltaic Sword is really good, the passive. I mean, it's boosting Shocknet. Shocknet's amazing. Just show you guys real quick the other ones. I think everyone starts with this. Yeah, I mean, there's no point to really show this. People start with this, and this I unlocked. I want to level it. But the damage is just not high. I need to unlock more ranks to see what the effects are. Okay, so let me... Okay, so this people start with this as well. Of course I want to level it as well. Can't remember what the power, like the augmentations do. So the deal with Voltaic Sword is that I've been using it before, and when the monsters are frozen, what happens is that it bypasses the armor. You see on the rank 3, okay, this is just 25% to double back. When target is burning, more damage. Oh yes, and the target also takes the remaining burn damage, so that's interesting. Now it takes the remaining burn damage instantly. So I mean, the synergy here is that burn frozen enemy are thawed, and then toxic gas, which deal instant damage, equal 3 seconds of burn. So the monsters are unfrozen, but then it says the burn increases on target by 0.5 second per second. But then if I start using this, it's just gonna keep like ending the burn, but the damage will be dealt instantly. I mean, every time I try this thing, it's just not good enough. If target is shocked, the sword has 100% chance to double back. I mean, targets are shocks all the time when I'm actually like staying on the screen, like I'm fighting for a while, the same packs, the same squads. If I'm moving super fast, like the monsters are not shocked all the time. Okay, so went over my spells. Oh, let's go get that runite. I might just stop the video there, and in the next one I'll go over to that crumbled dungeon. I'll quickly do the raid that I have right now, actually. Oh, here. Of course, it had to be a hard raid. I mean, it takes a bit of time to kill them. It's not super hard. Let's see how much power I gain. I can just stop the video and just start with continue with the raid in the next one. Oh yeah, it might take a couple runs to get that boss down. You see the damage of my skills? Yeah, I see Prism, not too impressed. Damage dropping, but it's when there's big packs, when you're fighting like a boss or one monster, like 2-3 monster, it's doing really good. But when you're fighting massive packs, it's just this shocknet is just taking all the damage, and then you have the lightning elementals. It's just doing a lot. Frost Ray is just there for freeze, and its damage goes down the further you push. Inferno is just solid when you actually reach the monsters. One thing I don't like is that you have your Inferno. Let's say you're like pushing in a pack, and you like it takes you 3 seconds, 5 seconds to actually kill and advance. Sometimes you have like your Inferno dealing damage to the front squad, but then all your spells are like working on the squads in the back, like second row, third row, like back row, and like you have your Inferno burning in front, and I mean it's doing the toxic gas, but like when you're pushing hard content, the Inferno is just not enough with the freezing and toxic gas going off. It's just not enough to take down the monster. So that damage is wasted, and like the rest of your spells are like working on killing other monsters, and sometimes they're not focused on the same monster. So that's one drawback to my build right now. I would need spells that either all target the front line and work like synergize together. And I mean, at least the freeze is going off on the front line and bouncing in the back, so that toxic gas is going off. Now the lightning elementals, they seem to, if you look at their attack, I don't know, it does seem like it's probably not all the time. It could just be all random. The icy prism, you can see going up, like the ray of lights popping out of the characters. You can see who it's targeting. Like it was like the second squad there. It's not like it's working on the. It's just they're doing a lot of damage, and I cannot like. They're doing a lot of damage, and I'm not actually standing still for a while in the same group of monsters, so it's hard to actually show you guys. Sometimes you just fight monsters that just do a ton of damage, but they don't have good survival, but they just deal a ton of damage to you. As you can see, the power up, the rune, stable rune, whatever, they're like moving like crazy over the screen. This started happening after zone like 25 or 30. Alright, so boss is down. I think I just got a 60%, 60 second of immortality buff. Let's see. I have 4 now. Oh yes, those are my all the stable runes I have. Like you can see, I have a bunch of power-ups. Oh, and this is actually, it reclaims the current power, by the way, guys. Like I did not use it, but I was thinking that I could just stack a bunch of these and use these to reclaim 100% of my power. Like I will earn so much here, but this is limited on the current power you have. So if you have 100 times more power than all your total you had like previously, you're just gonna reclaim 25% of your current. So it will just end up being like, I don't know, 1/4% if you grow your total power by 100, let's say in a couple seconds. So that won't work. But I'm pretty sure there is a quality 5 power surge that reclaims all the power. It's not based on your current power. So it's like I have to wait for that to do a crazy power push. That's my understanding. So look at all the spells I have. Okay, there's a box there, but I'm not even gonna reach it. Wait. Oh yes, I could reach it. I just have to look at my HP and pop a health potion here. There we go. Oh yeah, it's good to have here your like a potion. You don't want to die when you see a cache. You could have a immortality one. Which one? This is too long. 4 seconds is a bit short. Could have like something like this, 8-second invulnerability. And yeah, so looking like you see all these 15-minute spells. Yeah, 5 of them and have double and triple of some. Now look at the 3-minute spells I have. It's 8 per row, so 16, and then plus 3, I got 19 different spells there. Like this I have in 3 minutes. The frost wall I have in 3 minutes. Frost elemental as well. So all the quality 5 ones I have in 3 minutes. So the 3 minutes ones would be the ones I would use during a power push. You can see the other ones, like the lower quality. I have a bunch of instant spells. So yeah, okay guys, I'll make a new video right after this. Go over this crumbled key and see what happens. And also I want to try the dark portal. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. If you like this video, hit the like button, leave me a comment with your progress if you have any questions, any idea for any video to make I can make for this game or any other game. And yeah, subscribe if you want to get an alert when I do release a new video. Alright, so thanks for watching. I'm Astronox and I'm out for now. Peace.